Now that I'm sharing all this online, like, people are gonna have way too much power over me. And people are gonna find out that I'm actually so simple. Such a simple girl. First of all, if anyone is about to page me about wearing the same sweater in every single sit-down video, I don't want to hear it. I have popcorn here so everybody knows what that means. I literally am leveling up because look, I have popcorn seasoning, white cheddar. Fun fact, I bulk bought an 8-pack of just popcorn seasoning from Jeff Bezos. I have not looked back. Y'all, how am I gonna shake? How am I gonna shake? Now my room smells like popcorn seasoning like all the time. I'm really bad at shaking this. Anyway, we're here, we're sitting down. I have popcorn, so you know what that means. That means that this is another notes dump video. I just go through notes on my iPhone, random thoughts or like random lists. Oh, we're gonna be going through all the things that I love in books. And then I'm also going to film everything that I hate in books. The first thing that I love in books, a fantastical competition. There's an introduction of a side character competitor who becomes a temporary ally and then makes a reappearance in later books at a critical moment, thus compensating the main character for being a good person with integrity in the first book. I love that. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like during the competition, of course everyone is competing, so you know that like you guys are all gonna be enemies, but then the main character makes like a temporary ally with like a side character just for that one moment in that competition. And then whatever happens, blah blah blah, competition goes on, the side character ends up like disappearing, like they just like or make their exit or whatever, and we kind of forget about them. They were like a significant character enough in the first book, but like the series goes on, the world goes on. Then in like the 6th book or something, we have forgotten all about the fantastical competition in book 1. Like that was child's play. It was such a long time ago, felt like a lifetime ago. Then in a very critical high stakes moment that the main character faces, we think that all hope is lost, everything is like hitting the fan. That side character from book 1 comes and makes a reappearance, and like they've had this whole other storyline happen like behind the scenes that we weren't following, and then somehow it ended up with them re-meeting again, thus completing like a character arc. Ooh, that hits. That actually hits. Every time that I read about some kind of fantastical competition in book 1, eyeing all the side characters and I'm like, is it gonna be you? It better be you. Okay, next, characters who love to read. I feel like this is pretty popular and I feel like it makes sense because we all want to be the main character. So yeah, I think it's fun, you know? That's why I love like Rory Gilmore so much from Gilmore Girls. I literally have pictures of her on my photo wall. Side note, I feel bad about not filming from this angle anymore where you can like see my entire photo wall, because I'll do that and people would like look at my photo wall and then call me out on the photos that I have on there and it'll be like really cute. But this is just like way easier to film for me. That was like real, that was a vintage Sunny filming from that angle. But anyway, that's why we were all in love with Jess Mariano from Gilmore Girls as well. Oh my gosh, the next one. Irritatingly not going to blah blah just for some cute guy blah blah dot dot dot. You think I'm cute? This one requires some explanation. I can literally play something for you right now. Fun fact, after I read Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I absolutely love that book, loved listening to Michelle Obama write about her and Barack Obama's love story. I thought it was so freaking cute. If you guys haven't read that book, they were really living a love story straight out of a movie. And they actually did make a movie about it because I searched it up afterwards. If you guys don't know, Michelle Obama was Barack Obama's like mentor, or like Michelle was, why am I saying Michelle? Not Michelle, my biffle Michelle. Michelle Obama was like Obama's like supervisor. You know what I mean? Like an upper year during their law school like internship. And so that's how they met. And like you guys just need to like read the book and like listen to Michelle Obama talk about everything. It's actually the cutest thing. I was listening to this on audiobook and I was low-key like getting butterflies just like listening to it. They became friends and stuff, and like the way that she talked. Anyway, they would like go on lunch dates together and everyone would be like, oh, like where's Michelle and Barack going? Like, after I read Michelle Obama's book, I became like so obsessed with like Michelle Obama. Me, a Canadian, looking at the US. I didn't know this, but there was a movie that was made about Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. Oh yeah, it's called Southside with You, because Michelle Obama was from the south side of Chicago. I haven't had time to watch it yet. I really want to watch it though. I watched the trailer for it and there's this one scene from the trailer. I literally want to watch this movie so badly. Anyway, let me play the trailer and show you guys what I mean, because it's this exact trope.
How's it gonna look if I start dating the first cute black guy who walks through the firm's door?
You think I'm cute?
I didn't say that. How's it gonna look if I start dating the first cute black guy who walks through the firm's doors? It would be tacky.
You think I'm cute?
I didn't say that.
You guys know the vibes, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Yo. I need to watch Southside. Should I do that? Should I literally want to watch Southside with you so bad? Should I watch it right now? Okay, next thing that I love in books. Italicized thoughts right after or before what the character actually says because they're too scared to actually say it. I know that every single one of you knows exactly what book I'm talking about. The italicization in Six of Crows is actually so elite. Yeah, you know the vibes when someone is like the head of a gang and has like a reputation of being like the most cutthroat, violent, unfeeling person in the entire city. But then when you go to their POV chapter, find out that in their italicized thoughts, they're actually a panicked schoolboy with a schoolboy crush and can't say any of it out loud. When in italics, they want to say, I love you, stay with me. But then in real life, they say that you're an investment. That's my love language. I just scrolled down. I saw the next one. This one might be jail. Actually, it's actually not that jail. The next one is boys. The next one is boys speaking Latin. I'm just gonna let you guys figure that one out for yourself. On another note though, I started trying to learn Latin. It's been pretty great. I don't know what it is. It definitely is because of the Raven boys. Like, and then it was just further affirmed in the inheritance game. I'm a simple girl. Sometimes I'm actually worried because now that I'm sharing all this online, like, people are gonna have way too much power over me. And people are gonna find out that I'm actually so simple. Such a simple girl. Next one, college books. Campus books, please. I need to romanticize my life. Yeah, if anyone has any good recommendations that's not the off-campus series for books that take place on a college or university campus where the main characters are like college or university students, please drop them down below because I do be searching high and low for that. People are always either in high school or out of school and like working in the real world. I feel like I don't know a lot of books that take place on like a campus setting. I really want that because I'm trying to romanticize my life and it's been kind of hard. The next thing that I have on my list is dark hair, tragic past. Need I say more? Yeah. If you want more details, just go onto my Pinterest account and look at all my Pinterest boards that I made. Link is in the description always. Okay, next, a chess game scene where a chess game is happening in the background in between dialogue, and of course the mood of the chess game reflects the greater landscape, and it ends in checkmate. Ooh, such a good device. Not the Harry Potter one. You're free to check the king. Not me, not Hermione. Yo, he's going to sacrifice himself. I can't do it. My roommate does such a good impression of that. I feel like the chess game is like the most elite version of this just because it's so satisfying at the end when they're like checkmate. But honestly, any derivation of this I love so much. Like, it could be anything. It could be anything. Fencing or like, you know, like curling. Anything that's like a low stakes battle but is representative of a larger game. And like there's dialogue in between. Like, that is crucial. There has to be dialogue in between. It helps like the flow and the pacing of the scene. Okay, next. Why does your phone always autocorrect have to gave? Have is a real word. Am I the only one that experiences this? Have is literally a real word. Characters who actually have hobbies and interests that are random and specific, like in real life, but also it's not their whole personality, like Ronan and Latin. Oh, please. Why am I so obsessed with Ronan? I feel like it makes the characters feel really, really real. For some reason, like in a lot of books that I read, it feels like so formulaic the way that characters are written a lot of time, especially in YA contemporary. Characters have a problem, one personality trait, and one hobby, and that's it. I just can't buy into it. Like, it makes them feel really like cartoonish because I'm such a character-driven reader. But if I buy into a character and I really am attached to a character, like they feel super real to me and they're so fleshed out, then it just becomes like literally one of my favorite books of all time. Like, that's exactly what happened with the Raven Cycle series. If you've read that series, you guys know the plot is like the most obscure, outlandish, like out-of-pocket plot ever. But am I like so invested in it? Yes, because I'm obsessed with all the characters, and it's because their characters are not formulaic like that. Honestly, like the more out-of-pocket something is, like the more that I buy into it, because people are kind of out-of-pocket sometimes. Like, if you know me in real life, I would argue that me loving books this much is kind of out-of-pocket. You know, some people have like kind of out-of-pocket passion hobbies you don't really know about because like, it would just never come up, kind of like with me in books. But then sometimes you find out that people have like random, really uber specific passion hobbies, and you're like, okay, go on. And it's like kind of out-of-pocket because there's really no rhyme or reason for these things. If someone is like an expertise about like post-stamp history and they're in like mechatronics programming in university, like, you know, I feel like it's so funny. Like, humans are like so unpredictable. I just find it so believable and I just love it so much. Like, I love learning about like all these random specific things and like people's nooks and crannies. Like, why would you ever talk about that? Like, whenever I discover something like that, like, it's just so interesting to me. Like, I just find it so fun. Okay, next. An innocent initial meet cute by chance before the plot thickens and it's actually serious, because it gives you the feeling of, regardless of the plot, they would have met each other. Kind of gives me In Another Lifetime vibes. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. One of the other specific things that I like in books, like the In Another Lifetime trope, kind of in the actual real life present situation, people can't be together for whatever reason, but then when you kind of get like either like an inner monologue, you know what I mean, one of those from like one of the characters, or like it's a dialogue between the two characters that are like I wish we could have been not us but just like other people, like in another lifetime, where we're just like normal and we don't need to worry about all of this stuff that's happening. We could have just met each other and we could have just been together. You know, that heartbreaking conversation, and it just actually like makes you want to cry and throw up. I love that so much in books. Like, petition to have that in every single book. It's so freaking good. I love that scene so much. It makes my heart break in like the best way possible. It gives you like such a longing, like my heart actually caves in. And so I love it when characters, normally it's like right at the beginning of the book, like it could probably like be like the first scene or like the first chapter before anything else in the book picks up, or like that turning point happens where our two main characters are eventually going to fall in love, meet for the first time, but their meet cute has nothing to do with like the main problem or the plot of the story, because that hasn't happened yet. Some random mundane meeting, or it's like the calm before the storm, you know what I mean? And they meet each other and it's like, it's just like innocent, like anything that would have happened. Like, it could have happened in any scenario, as if it was just real life and they weren't main characters in a story. And then the plot happens and then you kind of like go onto that trajectory of them not being able to be together because of this big problem. I just love that at the beginning, because because it just gives me like such a warm feeling of like this could have been them. If this thing didn't happen, they could have just had like a good non-painful love story. Doesn't that make you want to cry a little bit? It kind of makes me want to cry a little bit. Okay, next. Okay, this will be the last one that I talk about. Alternating POV chapters ending with cliffhangers like Percy Jackson. I'm sure this was to maintain the attention of rowdy middle schoolers, but my attention could use some snatching, please. I feel like in middle grade books this happens a lot because, like I said, because everyone has like low attention span in like middle school, so I'm sure it's like actually a device to like keep the audience. But you know what I mean? In like Percy Jackson, they would like, if there's like two kind of separate storylines happening, you would like alternate chapters between the two, but every single chapter leaves off with a huge cliffhanger. You're like, oh my gosh, no, dang it, we have to leave this and go to the next storyline. But then that next storyline also leaves in a cliffhanger and you're like, dang it, we need to leave. But then the next chapter goes back to the first storyline and it resolves the cliffhanger, and so you're like, okay, nice. But then it also ends in another cliffhanger and it just keeps you bouncing back and forth like that, and you pretty much like can't put the book down. I feel like that happens a lot in middle grade books. But I feel like it doesn't happen as much in books like beyond middle grade because you don't need that anymore, I guess. But I kind of need that. I miss it so much. I feel like you can read through books so quickly if you do that. It's such a good marketing tactic. I don't know why books don't do that anymore. I don't think it takes away from the book. Can we please do that? Please? Can we do that? Thanks. That was the last one that I wanted to talk about. I think that's gonna be all for this video. I'm going to film this video's counterpart, which is things I hate. I might look like this. I might change and film it. We'll never know. Anyway, yeah, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you agree with any of the things that I talked about, or if there's anything else that you love in books. Pacific. Be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and click the notification bell to be notified every single time that I upload. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at sunnykimchannel because I'm super active on there. Follow me on Goodreads, and Pinterest is always linked in my description. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. Stay safe. Love you.